So it's easy to forget kind of how uncertain of a time it was after Hell's Pit dropped. We didn't know what was going to come from ICP, and this EP served kind of in letting us know that they had a lot more flavor to kick for the juggalos.
Yo, it's Hatchet Chat
with Lurs and Snax.
Your juggalo homies talking hatchet tracks.
There's hatchet beats
and hatchet raps. The whole catalog's packed
full of classic gems, and we talk about them all on
Hatchet Chat.
Whoop whoop.
What up, y'all? MC Snax here. Welcome back to Hatchet Chat. I hope you're all doing well. This week, we are doing a very cool EP, Insane Clown Posse's The Calm. Very interesting EP for a couple of reasons. And if you've been watching Hatchet Chat for a while now, you probably know my belief when it comes to music or art in general. I do not believe there's such a thing as objectively good or bad art. With that said, though, I can't help but feel that this EP is a little bit overlooked by juggalos. I love this EP, and like I said, it's kind of special for a few reasons. First of all, it was the very first actual, official release from ICP after the first 6 Joker's Card saga clued up, and at this point we didn't even know there was going to be a second Joker's Card deck, and now we're in the midst of a second Joker's Card deck, and we know there's going to be even a third one. So it's easy to forget kind of how uncertain of a time it was after Hell's Pit dropped. We didn't know what was going to come from ICP, and this EP served kind of in letting us know that they had a lot more flavor to kick for the juggalos. It was released on May 17th, 2005, which is less than a year after Hell's Pit came out. And it did well on the charts, especially for an EP. Hit 32 on top, on Billboard's Top 200 chart. It hit number 1 on Billboard's Top Independent Albums chart, and it hit 32 as well on Billboard's Top Internet Albums chart. And one of the things also that makes it so cool is that it was produced entirely by ICP. Not only that, actually, as it says in the liner notes here, which I'll show you guys because there's some dope flavor being promoted in here. It says here, all music written, produced, programmed, played, engineered, recorded, and mixed by Insane Clown Posse at the Lotus Pod in Detroit. Additional mixing by Fritz the Cat. And that's really cool. I mean, of course, ICP, they've been doing music at this point for so long now. They're, of course, going to, learn a lot of tips and tricks when it comes to production and stuff. They're more than just rappers, we all know. But still, the fact that they were, producing, engineering, and doing everything when it comes to this EP, that was an exciting thing back then, and that was announced before the EP came out. I'll actually link below in the description to an archived weekly that I found that Violent J wrote shortly before this EP came out, and he writes about how they decided to do that and stuff. It's super cool to read, and that fact that they did produce it entirely kind of makes it stand out in ICP's discography sound-wise. Nothing really sounds like it, in my opinion, when it comes to ICP records. I love the sound. It's very hip-hop oriented. I don't think there's a single guitar on there. And you guys know I'm a big synth fan. There's lots of rudimentary, cool kind of whirring, synth sounds. I think it influenced my production, honestly. I just love the overall sound of the EP. Before we get into the track breakdown, I said I was going to show you guys the liner notes. We got a double-sided insert here. One side is promoting Twisted's Men's Myth and Mutant albums that were coming out around this time. We also have on the other side promoting I think that's the first Hatchet Attacks show, if I'm not mistaken, being promoted there. If you, of course, the cover got that cool alien crop circle imagery. That ICP crop circle logo was used for quite a while during this time. Got the impending storm there, which we're going to talk about, of course. And more crop circles artwork. There's no lyrics in the liner notes. Just got some more apocalyptic storm imagery there in the crop field. But there's 4 more things being promoted. Shaggy's FTFO album and tour, Forgotten Freshness Volume 4, Tales from the Dark Carnival. I think it ended up being called Chronicles of the Dark Carnival, the series that ICP did, which was super dope. And then the Tempest album, which of course many juggalos know is the first studio album post first 6 Joker's cards. And at this point, it was being promoted for 2006. It did get pushed back to 2007. But at this time, the Tempest was still very mysterious. We didn't really know about it. It does get mentioned in the intro, which let's talk about now in the track breakdown. So yeah, the intro just kind of has some, ominous music, kind of like Carnival, honestly, vaudevillian music, with ICP talking to the Juggalos saying that this EP is the calm before the storm. And they're talking about how they're in uncharted territory. They were not keeping that a secret from the Juggalos. It was kind of an uncertain time as far as what was coming next. I think it was becoming clear to them what was next with the Tempest album and everything like that. But, they were saying to the Juggalos, who knows kind of what happens now. And they're explaining that this calm precedes a giant catastrophic storm called the Tempest. Lars and I have talked about plenty times how good ICP are at doing that. They interweave their projects. They promote one thing on another. It's all connected, gets you super excited. Again, this is the intro of a brand new EP, and they're already promoting what would be their next album. So super dope that they, are that good at doing that. And then that goes into track 2, Rolling Over. And Rolling Over, the title refers to how they're kind of entering a new chapter in their career. This is a very kind of groovy track. Lyrically, it's, loosely themed. ICP are kind of flexing. They are talking about how they're kind of entering in again to that new chapter. And it's got plenty of ICP humor. And it just got a really cool sound. And at this point, when you first heard it, you're like, whoa, ICP, they're super dope producers. All around dope song, great beat, great raps. That goes into track 3, Rosemary. Kind of a 180 from Rollin Over, because this is kind of like a wicked shit, banger. Honestly, could have fit on Hell's Pit. It's almost that dark. Jay is playing a character who's completely down and out, not going well, addicted to drugs. He sees this girl at a nightclub. He becomes obsessed, and he's telling this story of how he's stalking her and he plans to kill her. Crazy stuff. Again, it kind of reminds me of Hell's Pit by how much it's referencing mental illness and drug use. Darkest track on the album for sure, but the storytelling is super dope. Like the whole EP, I think it's kind of overlooked. There's a twist ending and everything. Just great storytelling track. Of course, ICP are masters of storytelling in rap form. This is a great example of that. More weird synths in the chorus. Weird in a good way. I love them. Dope track. That goes into track 4, Crop Circles, which, this song is about crop circles. It also mentions some other mysteries and, paranormal activity. And the paranormal is a huge theme, of course, in ICP's music. Always has been, probably always will be. And even with the Patreon and Twitch streams recently, a lot of those podcast episodes have been about various paranormal things. This crop circles, of course, are connected in, pop culture to aliens. I remember when I was growing up, it was a huge phenomenon. There was books about it and everything like that. And basically, these shapes that are carved into crops, allegedly by, UFOs and stuff for various reasons. They've appeared all over the world. And this song talks a lot about that. And I think they kind of use that alien kind of imagery to kind of hit home that apocalyptic feeling, since we're in like that post Joker's card era and we got that upcoming Tempest storm that's looming. So I think it's just it's done in a cool way. Love this song. That goes into track 5, Deadbeat Moms, featuring Esham. This is another track with a self-explanatory title, a song about deadbeat moms. Moms who are just using their kids for a means to get child support and stuff. Don't have much to say about the subject matter. The Esham verse is very dope. It's a banger for sure. It's a crazy song, man. That's all I got to say about it. That goes into track 6. And now we're in the last 3 songs of the EP. And the last 3 songs of the EP are actually probably my favorite. I enjoy the whole EP, but these last 3 songs, man, I really love. And track 6 is We'll Be Alright. This song is just talking about how no matter how bad it seems, it's going to be okay. And ICP are going back and forth talking about the ways they have it, tough and all the things that are going bad in their lives. I think a lot of it is hypothetical and imaginary. And then the chorus lightens up and talks about how it's all going to be okay. And there's a big juxtaposition between the kind of intensity of the verses and the choruses. Kind of major sound. Again, more rudimentary synths. Love it. This song might be my favorite on the EP. That goes into track 7, Like It Like That. Another Juggalo banger from this EP. ICP are basically flexing, talking about the things they do, the things they like. Very funny lyrics. The beat is one of my favorite on the whole EP. Just got that, again, that unique sound that this EP has. I really kind of wish they would self-produce and self-engineer another project like this, because it really makes for a unique product. I think my favorite lyric on the whole EP is on this, when Shaggy says, "We're so deep underground, the devil came around, but got his tail chopped off by Shaggy the Clown." Super fresh song overall. And that goes into track 8, the final track, and it's actually called Off the Track. And I think this is such a cool way to end the EP. ICP are talking about how, off the track, they're saying that, again, they're in that uncharted territory where they have completed their mission of the first 6 Joker's cards. And, it's kind of anyone's guess as to what happens now. But the reason that this song, I think, works so well, first of all, it's very, very laid back. And it's like they're at peace with not fully knowing what the future holds. And even though they don't know the specifics of what the future holds, they seem confident that they got, a lot more output to give to the Juggalos. And it's just got a really cool vibe. They're kind of talking about in the lyrics where they've been and things that they've done. I just think it's so cool, and again, it's a unique way to end a very unique EP. And there you have it. That's the 8 tracks, 7 if you don't count the intro. And like I said, for an EP that, in my opinion, is so important, it doesn't get talked about as much as I think it would. It's the fact that it kicked off that era post first 6 Joker's cards. I mean, that's huge. It promoted the Tempest album, an anomaly in ICP's discography for the full self-produced, self-engineered by ICP. Yeah, it's just, I can't say enough about it. I think it's a great EP. I have a lot of fond memories of it. It kind of helped me get through some tough times I was going through around the time when it came out. And again, I think it kind of influenced my production stylings with some of those more rudimentary synths. I've always been drawn to those sounds, and I think they're used so cool on this EP. So yeah, if you haven't heard this or haven't listened to it in a while, you should totally go back and listen to it. It is such a fun listen. Dope beats, dope raps, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's it for me for now, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hatchet Chat. Whoop, whoop.